In my opinion, all the ghosts in Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed are top tier. They're very, very strong. But who out of all of them is the strongest and who out of all of them is the weakest? So what better thing to do than do a tier list? I love tier lists, by the way. I gotta do more tier lists on the channel. But yeah, I'm here to do my rankings. Again, this is my rankings, my opinions. This is not facts. And I still gotta play as these ghosts more and more because some of them I've only played like 3 matches of to get the gist of what they do. But I still haven't lost on any of them, so I do think they're all very strong. And I really just love some of their abilities. Like if I was doing a fun tier list, maybe I should do that next, which ones are the most fun to play. Maybe we'll do that in the future, I don't know. But yeah, that would be a completely different tier list than what this is going to be. But okay, let's just hop right into it. If you enjoy my Ghostbusters content here on the channel, leave a like, subscribe, helps out a ton. We're almost at 6K subscribers. Super proud of that because I've been on YouTube for like 7 years now, so thank you all for all the support. Let's hop into the tier list. Alright, and I already know I'm probably not going to put any in unplayable. This is all... Pretend this whole thing right here, this whole broken all the way to unplayable is all in like the category of like A tier or S tier, because these are all really great characters. They're all very viable. You can win as all of them. Here we go. Alright, let's start here with something in the broken tier, in my opinion. One of my favorites to play as, and it is Pokey. Pokey is so fun to play as. And yeah, this tier list is just mostly based off their unique abilities, but some ghost types are just so strong in general that they're all going to be up really high in the same tier. But yeah, Pokey here, they obviously are an ectoplast ghost type. They got the Slime Nado, the Minions ability as every other ghost has, but their unique ability, the Javelin or whatever, I don't even know what it's called, like the Ecto Spear, I don't know. It's on like a 5-second, 6-second cooldown, something like that. You could just spam it constantly on Ghostbusters. I have a feeling they didn't call Pokey because of all the little sticks sticking out of them, or because of the Javelin. It's because you can literally poke at the Ghostbusters constantly throughout the match. Just keep on annoying them. Every 5 seconds, just javelin. It's so annoying to go up against and so fun to play as. But it does take a little bit of skill too, because you have to land the javelins. But I feel like they're really, really easy to land. Once you master the arc and the trajectory of it, it's very easy. But yeah, Pokey, easy to start with, easy to play, very fun, and super strong. Alright, now let's rank someone that's just a little weaker than the rest of the group here. But yeah, Chomp. Chomp is not too great. Chomp is in the Howler class, which I think is a really, really great class because they have like longer range, kind of like scream attacks that are just longer and wider cones than like any other ghost. Or actually, I think it's a shorter cone, but it's just long range, so it's really cool. And the Howler class has some weird traits, like all the objects that you possess or haunt start laughing and making weird sounds. I don't really know what that does. Maybe it generates more fear in the Ghostbusters or something, or in the civilians, or it's just an annoyance because you have to listen to that the whole time, but I don't really know if that actually affects people. But yeah, this Chomp's unique ability is like a silence ability. It does a long animation where he goes like whoosh, and then he like silences it's almost like the entire room. It's like a huge field of silence, and it just makes it so people can't talk to each other in game. I haven't gone against it, so it might also deafen you, because I know with Bramble there's an attack that they can do, or one of the ghosts, I think it is Bramble, one of them can do an attack that literally distorts your audio and it's like it starts ringing and stuff. So that might be that one, or it might just be the ultimate for the Howler in general. But yeah, this silence field, I mean, if people are talking in Discord or Xbox Live chat, PlayStation chat, I don't know, they're not talking in game, if they're a group, it's not going to affect them because this won't interrupt their mic audio in game at all if they're talking in a party chat. So kind of useless against, like, you'd say Survive with Friends if this was Dead by Daylight or whatever. Against group players, this is pretty useless. Now, against all randoms that want to talk to each other, actually pretty good. I've used it in a room and heard people just be quiet before. Because as a ghost, you can actually hear the Ghostbusters, which is really sweet. But yeah, it also darkens the room, but it darkens it for you too, so it makes it very difficult to see. I don't know exactly what the effect looks like on Ghostbusters. Again, I haven't played against a Chomp yet. I don't think anyone wants to play them because the ability is, again, pretty useless. But it was really cool when I was playing them. The animation I love, and then the way it makes the room look is really cool. It just kind of darkens it so that you even can't see, so it's kind of annoying. But it's cool at first. I think I'll play more of them to see exactly how it affects people. But right now, playable tier. No, you know what? I'm gonna use the unplayable. I'm using unplayable. I'm sorry, I have to. There's things I need to put in playable that aren't strong, or very strong. So I have to use this. Chomp, I'm sorry. Squiddler, I'm leaning between broken and very strong. I don't think it's as strong as Pokey, because Pokey has infinite spears. You can just generate them out of thin air. Squiddler, you gotta go find the objects, and once you throw them, they're gone. They're basically detonated and destroyed. So you have a limited amount per match. But again, it has like a 5-second cooldown. Or actually no cooldown. Squiddler doesn't have a cooldown on the throwing ability. But it does use your PKE bar, so that's kind of like a cooldown. But a very strong ghost, because I mean in general the Basher ghost type is probably one of the strongest in the game right now. As long as if you just simply hit people with your regular base attacks, they get their camera like turned sideways and they can't really aim correctly, especially if they're on console. I feel bad for console players that their controller just like, I don't know, you can't do anything. That's just on this ghost type in general, which I'm gonna be mostly putting up in the top tier. Spoiler alert. But yeah, this ability is very, very good. You can just go far back, pick up a bunch of props and just chuck them at people. It even knocks them back exactly like how Pokey's does. And I think once it gets and I think they'll become even stronger once the ability gets tuned a bit, because right now it's a little buggy, or sometimes you'll throw an item and it'll just stick in the air, or I don't know, there's some glitches with it right now. But once that's fully patched out, I think maybe he could go up to the broken tier. But again, he's just not as good as Pokey. He's basically Pokey, but with the Basher ghost type. And you don't have infinite javelins, you only have set props around the map. But you have plenty to last you the entire match, so it doesn't really matter anyways. But they might just be a little map dependent. And actually, while we're on the topic of the Basher ghost type, the original Lunk, we're gonna also rank him very strong. I don't know if he's as good as Squiddler, because Squiddler's got the range. They got the range with the prop throwing. The Lunk, you gotta get very up close. Sometimes your attacks will, as you're charging it up, you'll get tethered by a Ghostbuster. I think some of the best ghosts are the ones that can do things at a range. And Lunk's gotta get very close up with their unique ability, which is to slam the ground. But it's really good in group scenarios. It's kind of like an ultimate in a way, in my opinion. And it doesn't have the longest cooldown ever. But yeah, you slam the ground down, anyone around in that area just flies backwards and gets slimed. So very strong ability in group scenarios. Even on one-on-one, it's very good. You could just almost instantly get a knock on someone. But again, you do have to get up close and personal, and it uses a lot of PKE as well. And since I spoiled the Bashers are all going up here, I think Gloom is actually even stronger than Lunk, because again, the range. This one is insane. Their ability is crazy. I think some would even say he's stronger than Squiddler in a way, but the cooldown is just a bit much on it. But yeah, you can place a giant ring. It's good against solo players, good against he might be better than Squiddler. I don't know. Why am I making a tier list when I don't even have my own opinion straight? Gloom is very strong. It's just the cooldown's a bit long. You place a giant circle, it rains down meteors of like slime, and anyone in that area, civilians, Ghostbusters, whoever's there, will get slimed. Some of them get downed super quick with this ability as well. They gotta escape that ring quickly. And one of the best things about it is just being able to place it like in the center of you, and then just everything around you just gets rained on. So you can't really get tethered by anyone. They have to escape the area. I very much like Gloom. I think I'm going to be playing him a lot more, maybe making a video on him. I'm going to be making a video on a lot of these ghosts, testing them out, because I haven't played in like 4 days. I've been doing a bunch of other content, as you can see on my channel. I'm excited to hop back in because I'm very much enjoying this game. And this tier list could change in a couple days. I don't even know. There could also be patches that come out that change this. But speaking of a giant ring attack, my boy Toxin over here, or Toxy, his name's Toxy, which I'm going to put in the playable tier because sometimes this unique ability gets value, sometimes it doesn't. I have never gone against it as a Ghostbuster. I don't know what it feels like either. I do know we did that video on this whole Poltergeist variant here, or actually the video was on all the Poltergeists, but once we got to this one, there's people talking in game about how annoyed they were at my ability. It's like a giant ring that you place down and it just pulsates from the middle and just puts rings out of ectoplasm all around, and I think it shocks them as well. I don't know if Ghostbusters can counter this by jumping over the rings or what they can do about it. So again, this tier list could change once I figure out if they actually can counter this or not. But I don't think they can. It's very, very good for just like if you're escaping into a stairwell or something, you just place it down and it covers that entire area. No one wants to pass through it, much like Gloom's Meteor Strike. I think this one has a shorter cooldown. I don't know for sure though. I wish I could have all the stats in front of me and know everything. But again, the game's only been out like a week or two, so I don't even think 2 weeks at this point. So this is a very, very early first impressions tier list. And the only reason Toxy's way down here is because that Poltergeist ghost type in general right now is not great. And they're bugged out. Once they're fixed, I think they'll be a lot better. Right now, the Poltergeist is supposed to have an ability that lets them go into electrical objects and generate PKE faster. I don't know how fast that's gonna be, so that could really determine how strong the Poltergeist is once that's fixed, but right now it doesn't work at all. The only object I've found that generates PKE faster is a beer keg on the brewery clock tower map. So yeah, that's very strange. I've gone into vacuums, I've gone into power washers, bunch of different electrical objects, security cameras. Nothing seems to actually make the Poltergeist ability work correctly. And I don't even know if the shock abilities work correctly. There's not a lot of information. The Poltergeist is very complicated right now. But yeah, even their ultimate, it's like one of the longest charge ups ever. And you have to be like point blank right next to Ghostbusters for the EMP to go off and actually hit them. So the Poltergeist right now is suffering massively. Plus they get tethered easier and pulled into ghost traps easier and all this stuff. So yeah, Poltergeists are mostly going down here, but I do think Toxy's one of the strongest of the Poltergeists. And we might as well rank the rest of them right now, the Poltergeists. So here we go. Playable and playable. Again, once the Poltergeists are fixed, they could skyrocket. I don't really know exactly what their unique electrical object PKE charge ability is gonna entail. Once that's fixed, they could go up to broken. I don't even know. This dude right now, he has like a actual 4-second cooldown or 3-second cooldown. This is Nasher. You basically, I showed it off in the video, but you jolt it into someone and then it passes along. It's like a chain lightning. It can go in and pass into civilians, pass into other Ghostbusters as well. I just never got quite a good feel for how much damage it actually does, because sometimes I'd have to use it on the Ghostbusters like 4 or 5 times and then they'd be slimed. So luckily it's a short cooldown, but I don't know how actually effective it is. I was saying in the video it's super OP because of just, I've never saw a cooldown that fast before. Because you would just jolt, boom, boom, might as well use it more than your regular scare attack. Especially in groups because it just passes along to everyone. But I don't know if there's fall off damage once it goes into one person, into the rest. Like there's a lot of testing we gotta do in this game. And then this dude over here, Zap Dash, he's got the Zap Dash ability, which lets him zap dash out of scenarios. And then he leaves like a little electrical balls behind that detonate. I'm pretty sure the shock just builds up heat in people's proton packs. But since heat isn't really an issue in this game that much, I haven't noticed that it actually like affects them too much. I need to fight a lot more Poltergeists, but it's all RNG. I need to actually, like I play a lot of Ghostbuster, but I just haven't found a lot of Poltergeist yet. But apparently when they're in objects near Ghostbusters, or just near them in general, I think their heat builds up quicker, but I don't think it's that effective. Zap Dash is very good for escaping scenarios, but if you use it to engage at all, then you're kind of just left in the open with no escape options and no abilities to use on the Ghostbusters, so you kind of only have to use it as an escape, but it is a very, very good escape. So actually, I honestly think Zap Dash might be stronger than the Nasher's ability. Even though I really enjoyed this one, I just didn't see the effect being too strong compared to how much you have to spam it on people. Alright, now I recently just played a match as Slimer, my first match, or a couple matches as him. And honestly, I'm going to put him at the... I'll put him right here in between Lunk and Gloom, because again, these guys have kind of long range attacks. Slimer is very good. You can get a really good, I think it's called Noxious Belch or whatever. You can get a very good puke on a single Ghostbuster at a time. It's only one at a time. It's every like 18 seconds. But if you do land it all the way on them, it just insta-downs them. So that's very, very strong. But I feel like there's better ways to deal with Ghostbusters, such as a 0-second ability that just knocks them back. You don't really need to down them, even though it does generate a lot of room haunt if you do fully down them. But again, this only deals with the one Ghostbuster every 18 seconds, which is, it's cool if you get good with it. It's a free knockdown every 18 seconds. But being able to keep your distance with these guys, or being able to clear a whole crowd with something like a meteor strike right here, or a knockback, is also very, very strong. And it kind of outclasses how close you have to be to land this. If this was a longer range puke, I think he could be broken for sure. Maybe one of the best ghosts in the game. But you have to be very, very close. So that kind of puts him back. Alright, a very strong ghost, as they all are. But honestly, I'm putting him unplayable. The Drake. The Ghouly Drake. I really enjoyed playing this. He was one of the, I mean, obviously one of the first ghosts I played, because as you level up, this is one of the first ones you unlock. And I thought it was really cool. I thought maybe all ghosts should have the ability to possess humans, to possess the civilians. But it is limited to like 6, 7 uses, however many civilians are on the map. Because once you use it on a civilian, it insta-terrifies them, gets them fully feared. So once you're done possessing their body, they leave the building, which is really nice. It's instant progress on the building's haunt. But the Ghouly class already has that ability to get instant fears on civilians. Again, if you watch my ultimate ghost guide video, you just press Q and then you hit a civilian and it gets them critical and insta feared. So it's as if you're using this ghost possession ability, except that has no cooldown, and the possession does have a cooldown. So it's kind of just counterintuitive. If this was on a different ghost, it would make a lot more sense, I think. But since you can already instantly fear a civilian as the Ghouly, there's no point of having an ability like this, especially one that's this limited. Now, once you do possess a civilian, if you have enough PKE, you can charge at Ghostbusters and knock them backwards, which is really cool. But it's more of like a fun ability or a funny ability than actually practical. Because again, it does cost PKE and it slowly drains it. The Insta-Fear is nice, but the Ghouly already has that ability to Insta-Fear. So, useless. Put that on any other ghost and it would be really, really strong. But I do think this is one of the best ghosts to generate fear in general. Like you just, boom. At the start of the match, you possess someone. Then you go back in a prop, do the Q and click for critical hits on all of them, get all the civilians out instantly. Very, very nice. But I am pretty sure this is limited, unless civilians just keep coming back and respawning. But I don't think they do. I think there's an amount that can be on the map. I think it's like probably 8 or something. Alright, now Winky here. I have to play a lot more as Winky and Brainy over there to actually remember their abilities, because the last time I played them was when I was just testing the game before it even released. But I do think Winky goes in the strong category, maybe very strong. But the thing is, you have to be, again, very, very close around a lot of people to use it. Or, you know, you could just use it as an escape option, kind of like the Zap Dash. You just place it under you and no one's going to walk through it, because if they do, they almost instantly get fully slimed and they get slowed a lot as well. So his ability, you basically just drop a bunch of slime under you and then, yeah, it just covers that area. Anyone that walks through it slowly builds up their slime meter until they're fully down and slimed. So yeah, no one wants to pass through that. So it's really good for area denial. So yeah, Winky's kind of a mix of Gloom, Toxy, and Zappy over here, because he's got an escape option with the goo. It's area denial like Toxy and Gloom. The only thing that makes him weaker, again, he has to place it right under him every single time. He can't aim it far away. So that kind of sets him back. But other than that, I'll be testing him more and seeing if I actually like the ability more than I remember. But I think he's outclassed by a lot of different ghosts in the game. Alright, now Brainy. I think I've played 1 match, maybe 2 as Brainy. I don't actually know. But I did not enjoy them. I thought their glob throw would be a lot cooler. Where do I even? Unplayable? I don't know. You have to wind it up, charge it up a lot. Dang, I feel kind of bad. I'm gonna go play Brainy right after recording and editing and posting this, and then I'll let you know in the comments if I enjoy Brainy, or if I get my first ever loss as them, because I don't think they're that good. I don't think their ability has any knockback. I think it just covers people in a lot of slime, but not enough to knock them down like Noxious Belch. Not a knockback like Pokey. I think it has the same cooldown though, 4 seconds. But look at this difference in Ectoplast tier right here. 1 in broken, 1 in strong, 1 in unplayable. Honestly, this one should be in very strong or even broken as well, because all the ghosts past strong are broken. I'm just gonna say that they're all really good. Not broken, but you know, very strong. I'm even debating right now, like, because this only affects one person, and this can affect the entire team. Winky can affect the entire team. Slimer can only affect one person, so I'm like, do I swap their places? The insta knock is very good, but like a well placed one of these is an insta knock as well. Yeah, I'm switching these around. I'm sorry, I have to. There. But you have to be close for both of them. This literally only affects one person though. 18-second cooldown. I don't know the cooldown on this. Dang, why are opinions so hard to form on these ghosts? I'm gonna definitely do a follow-up tier list eventually. I just need a lot more time to play as them. Even though I'm like level 100, so I mean I should know by now, but I just don't. Anyways, back to Brainy down here. Yeah, his glob throw, not the most fun ability. I mean, kind of fun. You get to aim it, throw it, but it doesn't seem to do much. That's all I'm gonna say. No knockback, no one-shot down. It's just kind of poo-poo. It's just like your normal scare attack, but longer range, I guess. I'm gonna have to play as them again. Maybe I wasn't using it correctly. Maybe I wasn't charging it up enough. I don't know if charging it more loses a lot more PKE. I'm gonna have to play as them right after this. I'm saying that right now. Brainy is to be determined. Watch them become broken. Watch me comment in a bit saying they're absolutely broken. I don't know. Anyways, on to the next one. All right, let's rank Bramble. I played as them a few times and I thought they were very, very good, except one thing. Their ability was a bit RNG and it took a long time to charge up. Kind of like this dude over here, which we'll get to in a bit. Or is it this dude? No, I think it's this guy. So Bramble's ability, you basically put down a little orb. It chases someone. I think it can find civilians or Ghostbusters, both. But it follows them and then detonates in their face and they get knocked back. And I think their ears ring or their vision goes blurry. I don't really know. I haven't gone against it myself, but when I was using it, people were I think someone rage quit. They were very annoyed. But I don't know how easy it is to run from this thing or if you can destroy it as a Ghostbuster. Again, don't know much about these abilities because the descriptions aren't that great yet. But yeah, it seemed pretty effective when I was using it. I don't think I had a long cooldown either. But the only downside was that you don't control it. And I think they could just run from it pretty easily. But it was great at area denial. As I was escaping, if I ever needed to escape, I would just place one down. No one would want to come in that vicinity because as soon as they try to chase me, it would just detonate in their face. Pretty annoying, maybe even very strong, but I haven't tested it enough yet. All right, now the Infernal Ghouly ghost type. I have gone against this ghost a lot, and it has been pretty annoying. You can basically place a darkness orb, you can throw it, so it does go pretty far. And that orb will slow everyone down that's around it. I think it kind of darkens their vision as well. And then once it's done slowing, it'll detonate and knock everyone back. So very, very good. Very oppressive and has a lot of area denial to it as well. And you can actually control this one, unlike Bramble's, which kind of just goes on its own. Bramble's might not even lock onto people. It might just be a mine that you set, because I don't remember exactly. But yeah, going against this one is so annoying that I'm thinking, honestly, broken. I think he's going in broken tier. And again, broken doesn't mean nerf them. These don't even pay attention to these over here. They don't even make sense. These are all strong. This is just strong, strong plus, strong plus plus, strong plus plus plus, very strong plus plus plus. So yeah, that doesn't mean nerf. That doesn't mean these ones need buffs. Although Brainy, this silence, yeah, maybe these ones do need buffs. But I think he's on the same tier as Pokey over here. He's able to knock back entire teams with his ability, slow with it as well. He might even be, are you ready? Stronger than Pokey. Could you imagine? The only thing is, I think Pokey's more fun though. But I do think this ability is super good. The only thing about it is you can't really control when it detonates. You kind of have to get that timing correct. But as long as it's in the room with you and you stay near it, it's kind of just like a defense, like your own little hut right there. You just place it, boom, and no one's going to want to engage with you because they're going to be slow, their visions are going to be dark, and then boom, detonation. And then you can escape easily. So I think it is one of the best abilities in the game right now. Again, I'm going to play as him more and see just how good it is against more experienced players and stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling about it right now. Plus the Ghouly is, again, I think honestly the Ghouly and the Basher, maybe I should rank the ghost types as well. Ghouly and Bash are just really, really good. You can end games so fast as Ghouly because of how fast you can fear everyone. Building just generates so much haunt. So yeah, if this ability was on a different ghost, it might not be as good. But since it's Ghouly plus this super good ability, then there you go. So you can just see the difference right here between just having one unique ability, how much it changes. Because again, Ghouly down here, he can win matches so fast. But I'm ranking his unique ability mostly. And that's why he's down there. And then this dude's up here. Alright, now Shriek, I don't know if I got lucky, but this was kind of my first time playing Slimer almost. They're like just a better version of Slimer in some ways. Besides having like the Slimenado ultimate and stuff like that. I thought Shriek was a lot more reliable. For some reason, every time I pressed the ability, it's like a longer range puke. Plus it would insta down and slime people very quickly, and it could be used on crowds, unlike the puke, which comes out in globs and can only be used on one person at a time. This ability seemed to be downing like 2 or 3 people at a time if they were grouped up. And I'm going to be making a Howler video soon as well, so you'll be seeing that from me, showing off this ghost and Bramble and Chomp as well. I thought this was a very, very good ghost. I have some of my best clips destroying groups with this ability. Plus the Howler's ultimate is just great in general as well. I'm gonna put it right there. I don't know if people are expecting that. I'm glad we can have ghosts from 3 different types right up here. And again, if this was a tier list on just ghost types, all 3 of these basher types would be at the top because I think that class is just so good. But when we're ranking unique abilities, I think this is better. I think this is a cooler ability. Like imagine if some of these abilities were on these dudes. Boom, S tier, broken. But they all have limiting factors to them compared to some of these guys. Alright, now lastly, the Wraith. Honestly, I have some insane clips as this one as well, where I just go into a big crowd. I think if you watch the Ultimate Ghost Guide, at the end of the video, I use this ability a lot. You just go into a crowd, use it, it like pulses everywhere. But I don't know how much damage it does. I just don't know how much it actually slimes them. It doesn't seem to do that much. It is nice that it like just covers everyone around you. It's kind of like a mini Slimenado, but like super mini Slimenado. And I do think they're a really good ghost, but I think they're outclassed by some other abilities. And again, you have to be right in their face. Like you have to go right into their bodies almost and then use it. But it's pretty cool for popping out of props and then using it and just covering everyone around you in slime. But I think it's going to go above Slimer because you can affect multiple people, but I still don't know how much damage it does, so I'm going to put it below Slimer. There we go. I've hit more cool clips on this one than a lot of other ghosts, but I just don't actually know how effective it is. I need to go against a Wraith to know. Okay, but yeah, I'm liking how this looks so far. Hopefully you guys like this tier list as well. Again, this is my opinion, and if it was based on fun that I have as these ghosts, I think honestly Toxy would probably be at the top with Pokey and Squiddler if it was a fun tier list. But it's not a fun tier list. This is a serious tier list on unique abilities. No, but yeah, I like the way this looks. I think this reflects my opinion on how the ghosts feel right now to play as. So yeah, I'd say if they're gonna tune any of the ghosts in the game, I think these 6 down here would be nice to tune. This ability, the possession, is very cool. It just doesn't make sense on the Ghouly because you're gonna run out of civilians so fast anyways. So why run out even faster and then be left without an ability? It's weird. Things like this, I mean, cool, unique design. I really like probably one of my favorite ghost designs, like look wise, and the ability is cool, being able to silence people, but not everyone's going to be talking in game. Maybe if it got rid of pings on the map as well, that would be cool. I don't really know what else it can do. I'm wondering if it does actually deafen people's audio in that area also. It can be up on the map at almost all times, your silence field. You place one, it lasts a long time in that room, and by the time your cooldown's back, you can place another one. So you almost have a complete uptime of just having a room fully haunted with that effect in it. And it could really mess up people if it does actually deafen them or slightly blind them or something, but I'm pretty sure it just gets rid of voice chat and makes the room a little dark. And then Brainy, they could fix him by making him do some knockback, maybe giving me the damage numbers, or I could just play him right now and figure out that he's actually broken and the most insane ghost in the game. And these guys just need bug fixes in general because they don't work properly, so I can't really determine how good they're gonna be once they do work, and that's why they're down here. But yeah, this looks great. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the tier list. Hopefully it wasn't too long of a video and I got all my explanations out and everything. I'm gonna go record some more Ghostbusters videos right now. Leave a like and subscribe because we're on the way to 6,000 subscribers. We're like 200 and something away, so help me out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next Ghostbusters video very, very soon.